And our topic for today is okay. Uh, Try to get that to focus as always. Supernatural. Okay, so first of all, it's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since we did one of these videos, but we had One Piece week off, and then we just didn't get back to it until this week. So, rambling about Supernatural. Um, yeah, I started to watch a show 2 years ago, I think. Um, I was my friend let me use her Netflix account, gave me a login and everything, in order to check it out because she's a big fan of it and she wanted me to check it out because I never had. Um, so I did, and the first couple episodes, it's like okay, it's good, but I kind of lost track and it's like watching other stuff and all, and so it's like for a long time I didn't get into any more episodes, and I would watch episodes very sporadically and randomly, just every so often. Um, but eventually I started watching a lot more actively, and I really got into it to the point where it didn't take all that long to catch up on all 14 and a half seasons that are currently out, with the second half of season 15 coming out this fall. The series, it's my kind of thing. It's a obviously supernatural type series, focusing on a lot of mythological creatures from all various different kinds of cultures. You have the typical stuff like vampires and werewolves, but then you also have stuff like the Wendigo and various other more cultural, not really. More, how do I put it? I guess more unique is a good way to put it. More unique myths and stuff that you don't hear about too often. Like the Wendigo has gotten popular in recent years because of stuff like Until Dawn, but still, it's not as commonly known as others. You get the idea. Um, the show obviously centers around the Winchester brothers, Sam and Dean, and their mission as hunters to take out all of the monsters and evils that plague the world that normal people can't take care of. Um, and yeah, throughout the series, we get to meet other characters who are big focuses, such as Bobby. You get to meet the brothers' family, various other hunters and friends that they make throughout their journeys, especially Castiel, the angel. Um, and just like that, there's also plenty of enemies, even some enemies who eventually become allies to the brothers. Um, and in the end, the big focus of the story is just as simple as that: good versus evil, heroes versus villains. But it does try to deliver it in a less black and white, less like clear cut way. Like some of the heroes do pretty messed up things, especially the brothers. And some of the villains actually do very good things and have even good motives at times. So it's like it's never quite as clear cut with its concept of the good versus evil uh, idea. The big appeal to it is definitely the acting. The acting is where it truly shines because even when the episodes concept or writing can be pretty low quality, the acting more than makes up for it. Jensen Ackles as Dean is easily the best. He has just this amazing quality to him where he makes the character feel so real. Like there's points where you actually forget he's a character in a show and you think you're just watching a real person. Um, Not as much with Jared Padalecki. He's still good, but sometimes he it almost feels forced or phoned in when he delivers like big moments. Um, he Jared Padalecki is definitely better with the unexpected comedy because Jensen's comedy with Dean is very much like, oh yeah, this is how he is, and he's a goofball, and he's weird, and he's ridiculous, and it's like, yeah, you see that comedy all the time with him. But with Sam, it's more subtle things that really aren't when you think about it, aren't really that funny. But because of the context and the way Jared Padalecki delivers it, it makes it funnier. Um, Such as there's this one line in one episode. All he says is, "I lost my shoe," and even within the context of the episode, it's like it's not that exciting or funny of a concept. But it's the way Jared Padalecki delivers it. He sounds so dejected and defeated by the idea of just losing his shoe. It's so silly and ridiculous and not really all that funny. But the way he delivers the line is what makes it funny, like really legitimately funny. Um, and of course, the series has a number of big names in it. You have, uh, oh my God, I always forget his name too, Curtis Armstrong. You have Curtis Armstrong, who's definitely one of the just really big names and really great names in it. You have Kim Rhodes, who gained popularity through the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody series. She's in there. Um, you have I never remember the name of the actor, but he played Woody in Psych in the TV series Psych. He was Woody. Um, I can never remember his name, but he has a role in it, and so on and so forth. You even have like really random guest stars every now and again, like Paris Hilton's in an episode. Of all people, Paris Hilton is an episode of Supernatural. Um, but definitely, it's the main cast who really shines. Um, and they're really the reason it works so well. Like the series itself is good, the writing is good. The monsters are cool, even if they don't take them as far as I really feel they should. Because let's be honest, most of the monsters in this, they don't really go into like the forms you would think they would. Like a werewolf, it's not quite a werewolf. It's like it's a werewolf by name and mannerisms, but not by appearance, basically. Same with, I guess, dragons who are in the series. I won't go into all the details, obviously, for spoiler reasons, but um, there's a lot of these creatures that they don't look like monsters. And the few times that you do get ones that look like monsters, either it's so dark on the set and everything, it's like it doesn't you can't even tell what it really looks like, or or it's like a really random sudden change that happens only briefly, like for a few seconds. Um, like for example, there's these creatures called leviathans in it, and normally they look like normal people, but there's moments where they'll like turn into these basically giant these heads with nothing but giant mouths on them, but it's only for like a split second each time. It's not really like constant thing. They're not always like that. And it's like it's almost kind of disappointing, but at the same time it doesn't take too much away. Um but like I said before, the series does definitely play with the idea of good and evil and how it's not always so clear cut, which is actually a very important part of the series. Um, all things considered. The soundtrack is great. It uses a lot of great classic rock because Dean is into that kind of music, which is always good for me as a big classic rock fan. Um, and a lot of songs I had never even heard of prior to watching that I checked out, and it's like, oh yeah, this is actually a really good song. I want to find out what the song is. um, and hell, it went on for so long, 15 seasons. Like that's impressive. That is legitimately, genuinely impressive. So it shows that people still love it, and I love it. I mean, there are episodes that weren't as good, but overall, like I've had no issues with any of the seasons as a whole. Like only just certain episodes or plot points. That's about it. Um, but yeah, overall, I really enjoy Supernatural. If you haven't seen it, it is on Netflix. I believe it's only up seasons 1 through 14 are on Netflix. I don't think the first half of 15 is yet, but I might be wrong. Or no, no, I think it is. I think the first half of 15 did come to Netflix after I had already finished watching it. So, yeah, I think it is. Either way, most of it, the vast majority, is on Netflix. Um, it's really good. It's really worth the watch. I definitely highly suggest it. So, tell me in the comments below if you've seen Supernatural. What do you think of it? And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.